If you're a real estate agent who is waking up tired, overworked, and wondering if the business is even worth it anymore, you're not alone. But what if I told you burnout isn't a badge of honor, it's a warning sign, and you can fix it in the next 90 days without sacrificing your business or your life? I have agents reaching out to me every single week, agents just like you who are finally done doing this alone. If you're ready to surround yourself with the winning pack, head over to reagentwolfpack.com or just text me directly at 303-210-0378. When we partner, you get access to everything I use to grow without burnout, from AI tools to time-saving systems to social media strategies and organic lead generation, completely free. And it's the fastest growing group right here at EXP, built on exactly this type of support. The truth is, burnout is everywhere. As we see a shifting market, lots of stress, disruptors coming into the industry, a lot of people are worried about burnout. And this is something that we absolutely have to control right now. If you have some warning signs of burnout, understand that 87% of agents leave the business within 5 years. Is that what you want? Is that who you are? Absolutely not. And so we have to understand that burnout is almost a hidden epidemic, something that's creeping up on us, that's pushing us, and we have to act immediately. If you act and take immediate action in these 90 days to take this feeling of unknown, uncertainty, fear, whatever that is, it's all just burnout starting to come in. We're trying to, do everything we can to get these listings sold or get the next buyer. We need to pay attention to these warning signs so we don't become that statistic that fails out of this industry. So to start, we have to find out why burnout occurs. Well, first and foremost, real estate agents are really bad at setting boundaries. So very few work-life balance. You're available 24/7. You're available on your phone when you're on vacation, and all of the things leading us to not have any of that personal recharge time. And this is something that it's so hard, right? Because we want to do what's best for our clients. We want to be there to serve them. And ultimately, we have to make an income, and we don't just punch a clock. And so as we understand, we have to kind of dial this in. We have to create systems. We have to create flow and structure, but none of that happens unless we set boundaries. This is when I'm available. This is when I will respond. This is how I will respond. This is how the operation works so that I can recharge and I can best suit my client or whoever it is I'm dealing with, contractor or whatever. And so that's the first piece. The next piece is chasing every lead. And this is something that ultimately, at the beginning of our career, truth be told, I chased everything. Everything was a yes. But I've seen agents in my organization really transform their life with a simple response: no. And that's something that is extremely hard, especially when we're doing it. But let's look at the actual time difference, right? When you work at a traditional 9 to 5, you punch a clock, you get paid for that time. Well, let's look at our time allocation and what our hourly wage is if we are saying yes to everything. We're learning how to sell, XYZ type of property. We're chasing down the rabbit hole on how to figure out how to sell a trailer or whatever it is. And ultimately that time starts stacking up and our hourly wage and our worth starts to diminish. And that's where people get into it, right? The next piece is the mentorship trap. Everyone, says, I'm going to figure it out on my own. I'm going to go this route. There's two sides of this, right? The lone wolf trap, which is like pushing away help. The best of the best people that I know are absolutely hiring coaches. At the very top of their game, they're still hiring coaches and mentors and looking for that mentorship. But also, there comes a point when early on where we get into this, continuous learning phase. I call it a serial learner, where it's the next course and the next course and the next course, and we always struggle to implement, right? So we have to understand what we're doing, and then we have to take a look at our business and run it like a business, right? We have to understand that revenue stops when we do, and we have to make these choices. We can't consistently throw our money at the next coach, the next system, the next process. Sometimes we have to bootstrap it and do it ourselves. Ultimately, if you're surrounded by the right people, you can plug and play and take things, right? That's one thing I love about the Wolfpack, is that everybody is always sharing their top level secrets, everything that they're doing, their systems, their processes. Everyone is willing to share it. ultimately because we're not all in the same market competing for the same market share. So now that we kind of have the warning signs and we're looking at it and why it happens, what burnout actually feels like is a whole different story, right? It's constant anxiety. It's waking up in the middle of the night saying, did I say the right thing or the wrong thing, or have I, abandoned this listing or whatever it is? We have that constant anxiety and it's keeping us up at night. It's taking away from that all important recharge time. And we have to understand, right? And this is true. It still happens. It happens to the best of us. If you're successful, you don't have to be miserable. And this is something that we have to take into consideration and really understand exactly what it looks like to change the game. And so what it actually feels like is those waking up middle of the night, just feeling like, I didn't do my best, right? You're not working harder than ever, but you're growing slower, right? Think about that. If you feel like you're working harder, and you're just clipping along at the same pace or maybe even a little bit slower pace if the market changes, this is a problem, and this is where we need to do it. So let's talk about the 90-day fix, the real game plan, right? So take week 1 and 2 generally to audit your time. Identify where you're burning out. Identify the things that you absolutely love to do in your business and the things that drain you, right? If you're checking out, my sponsor Louis Galt has amazing system processes, time management, all kinds of training on his YouTube channel. Go check it out. Check out the Eisenhower Matrix and figure out what you need to delegate, what you need to delete, and what you need to make a priority. And this week, 1 week to 2 week, really looking at your business from a complete outside, step away from it, look at it. What do you love to do? What do you need to do but hate to do? And what doesn't really serve you anymore? And then start to build your calendar around that, right? Let's simplify our lead generation. This is something I talk about all the time on my course, which you get for absolutely free when you partner with me, is let's simplify this. Where are your feet? Be where your feet are and turn that into your lead generation. That makes it a lot more fun. It makes it a lot more comfortable because you're already there. You don't have to open the door to get out and door knock. You don't have to pick up the phone. Those are the hardest things to do. The hardest door to open when you're door knocking is your car door, and the hardest call to make when you're cold calling is that first call. So if you simplify your lead generation, which we talk about extensively in the Foundations Builder course, you can really focus in on what it does. Then all of a sudden it's fun. And the truth is it explodes as you go because you're showing up better for the people that you care about and you love, and they already love you. And that's when you become their trusted real estate agent. Next, we need to make sure that we're surrounded by the right people, right? Proximity is power. Anyone will say it. You're the average of the 5 people you surround yourself with. What are those agent partners that you're hanging out with? What are your friends? Are we always going to happy hour talking about, gossip and all the things? Or are we actually trying to dial in new business systems and improving ourselves as we go? Not to say that the gossip and happy hour isn't great, but in your free time, absolutely. But who are those business professionals we're surrounding ourselves with? Who are those mentors that we're looking up to? Who is the pack that we run with? And if we can make that happen, we can plug into our community at a high level, right? We're plugging into higher agents. We have the same goals. We have the same kind of mindset and thought process, and we're going to expand together. We're going to run as a pack and grow together. And that's exactly what it is. It doesn't have to be changing brokerages, coming over to EXP. If you want to talk about that, you know where to go. But it can really be taking, 5 agents where you're going to have a mastermind, where you're going to run together, where you're going to grow together and have some accountability. Because if you're constantly surrounded by the people that are, complaining about the market or doing this or, stuck in their old ways about lead generation that maybe isn't working anymore, that might be part of the problem, and it leads to burnout, right? There's nothing new. There's nothing new to grow. I always say that my favorite part about this business is no day is the same, no contract is the same, no negotiation is the same. We solve problems for people that are making the biggest purchase of their life in most cases, and that makes it fun, but we have to make sure that we're surrounding ourselves with the positive influences, with the people that are doing it at a high level, so that we ourselves can get out of that rut and avoid this burnout. And then finally, we need to go to the systems. We need to build it up. We need to make sure that we're using our CRM. We need to make sure that we're using the systems that we've built, because now it's less of, an hour before we pick up the phone because we're lead generation. We simplified it. We made it easier, but we're doing it. We're still having the conversations. Now we need to track it. Now we need to know what it looks like. Now we need to make sure that every single person, especially when we're dealing within our community, has an amazing experience working with us. So then they become the stalwart in that community, shouting our names from the rooftops. And you can't do that without a system. You can't build an ultimate client experience without a system, which is why I cover it in my course as well. And so if we kind of step back and we look at this, it's auditing what you're currently doing, simplifying your lead generation, making a plan, not getting shiny object syndrome. Then we're plugging into a community of support and help and make sure that we have those professionals that are in the fight with us, that are supporting us. And then we're going to implement and sustain through systems, and we're going to continue to repeat the process. Every transaction doesn't have to be different on the back end, because it is on the front end, and that's what keeps it fun and entertaining. So ultimately, stop flying solo. If you need anything, please reach out. Adopt repeatable systems once you're able to get through that, once you're able to build that. Get mentorship, find the people that you need, and then align with the right people. This is ultimately the goal. Align with the right clients, align with the clients who are going to respect you and care about you, align with the people and the brokerage and the mentors that are going to respect and care about you. If you have any questions about this, you can always book a Realtor Game Plan call below. No obligation, no pressure, just talking about your business and how to win. And finally, burnout doesn't mean you're broken. It just means you need a better system and a stronger support. That's what we've built. So if you're ready to stop grinding alone and finally chase a clear strategic game plan, reach out. You can call or text me anytime, 303-210-0378, or connect using any of the links below. When you join me and the Wolfpack, you're not just joining a brokerage, you're getting a full playbook, a real community, and a roadmap to build your business and life you actually absolutely want. Thank you so much, and let's avoid burnout. You got 90 days. The clock starts now. Let's go.